How's it felt to have the crowd and the Clemson family behind you all year?
It's to answer your question, it's awesome, but it's also reminiscent of 21 years ago. This is how the crowd was. The crowd. We were number one in the country in 2002 for most of the year, and that was what the attendance looked like, and that was the energy in the place. And even playing here when I coached at Maryland, and I was in the wrong dugout. That was the energy that was here. 2010. Any knows 2010 2011 and that's what it looked and felt like, and it was tough to play here as an opposing coach. So I've gotten to see it both firsthand, so to kind of see it come back to that, it's exciting. I'm happy for the Clemson community, and really excited. I think personally, I've just wanted a regional to come back to Clemson for the Clemson community. For my kids are 13 and 10 and 8, and just thinking about their ages, and there's a lot of kids out there that, and a lot of fans out there that just needs to be part of what Clemson does. Softball's doing it the last couple of years, and baseball needs to be right there, and that's just what happens here at Clemson in baseball and now softball every year. So really thrilled that we can just ignite the community even more and add value to this athletic department that is such a powerhouse, and do our part to contribute.
Did you talk about the marketing team thinking of that? I mean, is that something you wanted to see, like a feature like that with the music and balloons and stuff like that? And why do you think it speeds people up?
Well, we actually had a meeting about it a few weeks ago with our administration, and just almost like opportunities for growth. And I went into that meeting thinking these would be all next year initiatives, and they were throwing around ideas and like, we can do this Friday. And this was a Tuesday meeting, and they were talking about being able to get the balloons and the fire emojis and the pinwheels and the all the stuff, and really ramp it up so it amplifies. Because we've got some older fans who maybe can't stand up and yell all the time, right? And maybe they're not they're not at their playing weight anymore. They're past their prime, but they can still wave a balloon, and they can do something. And you just think of basketball, and you watch free throw shooters in basketball on TV, and you got some places where it's just chaos behind them. And so I think optically that can get in a pitcher's head a little bit. And you saw a really good pitching staff here that at some points, lost command of the zone. But there's no question that a loud, hostile environment can create a physiological response in the opposition. It can internally speed them up. And this is the neck up stuff we talk about in this room all the time, of how to slow that down. What are the tools and the skills to slow the game down when the game is inevitably speeding up? Even just a bigger stage of brighter lights is going to speed them up. And so that's why we practice all the things we do in this room from a mentality standpoint to slow it down, because it's so easy to get sped up. So 100% the crowd plays a huge role, a massive role, especially when it's loud and the music's blaring and the balloons are going, and it's fun. It's cool. It's a 10th man. It's like having an extra player out there.
Any chance you might switch the order up of your starting pitchers for the tournament next week, or do you stick with what's been working?
I don't even know what day we're playing, so I don't know if I could accurately answer that. I think it would behoove us to keep our rotation as close to full rest as possible. But we're going to go into the tournament trying to win it. I mean, we're not going to, I know I've never done pool play, pod tournament. I don't even know if you can call it a tournament, but never done it this way. So people are saying there's games that don't matter. I just, that doesn't resonate. I have no comprehension of that kind of thinking. So we're going to go into every game, and no matter who we're playing, where we're playing, we're going to try to win.
Not the biggest fan of pod play?
No.
Coach, what's the last few weeks told you about what could be ahead for this team?
Well, it's just I think what's ingrained in this team now is a belief that they can do anything, and this is where the magic happens when an individual player and especially a team gets a confidence about them. That's where you capture that lightning in a bottle, and that's where they just feel invincible. It doesn't mean we'll win every game, but it's just a feeling that they can do anything. It's a good feeling to have, and it's a good feeling to have at the right time.
Have you ever seen a team talk about developing an echo stuff and develop this quickly in terms of the callousing and getting to the point where they feel this way, or is it just something that can really literally just snap a finger and changes just because something happens?
It has to happen organically, like we had to struggle in order to develop those calluses. Like if we just started off and everything was going great, and then we didn't know how to take a punch, that's where you see some teams just can't respond. But we just kept getting knocked down, and this is where the leadership of the team comes in and the players' buy-in comes in, that they just keep getting back up, knowing that at some point the tide is going to turn. And that's where our players have just, exceeded expectations of never losing that positive mindset. And just even when we're 16 and 14 and 2 and 8, they never let their attitude sour. They genuinely felt like there was good baseball in this team, and we were gonna do it. We just had to, we had to make some. And this is where, as coaches, this is where we gotta maybe adjust some roles and give guys opportunities. A guy like Billy Amick, and what he's done, taking advantage of that opportunity that he got that's a story in itself, obviously. And the bullpen guys, and health is health/luck. That's a big factor in a lot of teams too. You gotta stay healthy, and we fought that injury bug early. That was a big part of it too, but yeah, no, it has to happen organically, and it never you don't just have a transition and have a change, and then all of a sudden it takes a long time, and we're still building our culture right now. You can't just say, we've got this night day thing. Like what we do as coaches is just create an environment every day and have standards that are expectations for this is what the behaviors are of this program, and this is how we play, and this is how we think, and this is how we talk. And it's one thing to say it, it's another thing to do it, and that's where these guys have been so awesome. And they're smart kids. They want Clemson baseball to be great. They know that we've fallen short, the program has, and they want to get it right back on top. And that's why they were so hungry and eager and willing to do whatever it took to get us to where we are right now. But also in the same breath, like Caden said, we just have to keep our head down because there's so much now to play for moving forward.
I guess from an endurance standpoint with Caden, he's gone 7 innings or more a bunch lately. A two-way player, like how impressive is that for a guy like him to do everything he's doing and pitching more than 100 pitches and doing that?
Yeah, it's impressive at the highest level. He, even if he was just a pitcher only, to be that efficient with his pitches, throw 3 pitches for strikes, keep a very good offensive team down, that's as impressive all by itself. But to know that his swing of the bat were the 2 runs that we needed to win the game, and the time that it came, we didn't realize it in the first inning that would be such the game-winning hit in the first inning, but essentially it was. But if he was just a hitter, that's a heck of a day as well, to get big 2-out homer to essentially give us all the run support we needed. But what he's doing at the level that he's doing it is a testament to his God-given ability, his work ethic, and his ability this season to play mentally free. He's playing with a smile on his face. He looks like 12-year-old Caden Grice, and he is just going out and having fun playing baseball. And I firmly believe that's why he's playing so well.
Coach?
Talk about Camp Canarelli, you just threw him out there because he was just so natural. Did you see plays like that, catches like that, in the preseason leading up to, or is that one you think kind of impressive compared to what?
No, he said the fall. We didn't put him out there in the fall.
Yeah.
It was like January, and Willie Taylor we were thinking would be in center field, and Willie had aggravated his knee at the end of football season, and so wasn't ready. At the beginning of the year, I think Willie just DH'd if he was in there, and it was January, and we just thought, Cam's just such a naturally gifted athlete, and he's the third outfielder that I've coached in 21 years that can read a fly ball off the bat, turn, put his head down, run to a spot, turn around and catch it. There's not many people that can play outfield that can do that and do that well, and he's just he's another kid that he plays so well because he's so consistent. He always stays in the middle, gets back to neutral, stays centered. He's a kid that is just has a great personality and a mindset for this game to not experience the high, too high of highs or too low of lows, and he just lets his natural ability play. And the best thing he can do is not change, stay who he is, because he is a true natural out there. And we can play him in the infield, play him in the outfield, but he's, it looks right in center field. He's very, very gifted center fielder.
All right, thank you, Coach.
Thanks,
you, guys.
Coach.